Imagine what would happen if the goal of your benevolence program was to surprise people with the generosity of God. What if the benevolence you offered wasn't just limited to responding to the financial needs of individuals, but instead leveraged all the resources of your church to reflect God's generosity? What might happen? Meet John and his 8-year-old son, JJ. John is a single dad who unfortunately is in between jobs at present. He contacts your church because he's worried about not making his rent. And if he loses his apartment, he has no idea how it will affect the visitation times he has with JJ. Meanwhile, JJ is focused on 2 things: having fun and playing soccer. And lest I forget, JJ thinks his dad is Superman. As you meet with John, you can tell right away he's worried. You listen to his story and gather the facts you need. You realize there are no easy answers. Your desire is to provide more than a simple band-aid of help. But to do this, you need time. Time for prayer and to evaluate how your church can best help. So you ask to meet with John in a few days. John's a little disappointed by the delay, but he's also encouraged to find someone who is taking him seriously. After John leaves, you arrange the possibility meeting. It's at this meeting you relate John's story to a handful of others who know your church and community well. It's their job to identify the multiple ways John and JJ can be served. The meeting starts with you sharing John's story. You come in with a recommended financial response, but you also ask this key question: if we were to go the second mile for John, what would that look like? Someone says, "You mentioned his 8-year-old JJ likes to play soccer, right? Well, I think soccer teams are forming soon. Can we pay the league fees and buy JJ some soccer shoes?" Someone else says, "I can put the word out to our small groups and ask if any of them know of someone who's hiring." Another adds, "We don't offer divorce recovery, but First Christian does. I wonder if John would consider attending." And then someone thinks, I bet if John is having trouble paying rent, he may feel like he's one of the worst dads ever. I wonder if we could get some guys together for our father-son kickball game and invite them." Wow. You can't wait to share with John some of the options you guys came up with. And John, when he meets you, he's amazed because he's expected to hear the, "Oh, I'm sorry, but we can't help you" speech. And even if you are unable to assist him financially, he knows you care for him and JJ. He's also surprised you guys actually have a volunteer, Travis, who's ready to help him with the details. It's his job to serve as a resource for John over the next few weeks. If John needs transportation getting to the father-son kickball game, Travis arranges it. If John feels uncomfortable going to divorce care at First Christian, Travis goes with him for the first night. Travis gets to walk with John along his journey, and in the process, he gets a front row seat to what God is doing. So let's review. John approached your church asking for financial help. Fortunately, your church has a system in place which allows you to surprise John by going the second mile. You've treated John with respect. You've provided him a path out of isolation and given him a way to still be Superman to his son. You've leveraged the resources of the church to introduce him to the life-changing power of the gospel. And that is a beautiful thing.